What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed. This is the series where I cover all the lines of sight as well as any other secret spots that I know of on every map in CoD World War II. In today's episode, we're finally going to be covering Carentan, and this also applies to Winter Carentan, which is currently active for the holiday season. So first up, let's start it off over by the A flag over here, the A domination flag that is. Those windows there, they can often spawn trap you back here from those windows. So just one great counter here if you have a sniper or a long range gun is if you come to this spot right here, this is really simple and straightforward. You just come right here, you can easily get a line of sight on that window. The other window is more difficult, but if you're already over here, you can pretty much completely avoid that and just get out of that area. Now, if you happen to come on the other side and you want to counter that window, I find actually coming over to this area right here can be great, because if you crouch, you're actually completely hidden from them there, and then you can stand up and kind of head glitch over the top of this area right here. It's a really effective way to pick those guys off. Now, right over there, we have a mounted machine gun in that window, and that thing can often be pretty deadly, so an excellent counter with an accurate rifle, LMG, or a sniper rifle would be to come up right here, and there you go. Great line of sight through there. They're usually not looking back this far, so normally you'll take them off guard from this position, but if they're really paying attention or they have lookout or something, they will be able to see you and pick you out from here. Now, getting into this broken building right here, there's a few little lines of sight. First off, if enemies are still spawning in that area there, a lot of times they'll just camp in their spawn back there, and you can't really get to them because they're just locking down the area from over there. A thing that I often like to do when I get up to this building, even as just a check spot over towards their spawn, is I simply come in here and I just walk my way up here. From this position here, I can see over towards that tank area. I can often pick people off through here, and all they can really see is my head and a little bit of my shoulders, and I'll usually take them off guard from that position. Another thing you can do right here, this is really situational, but if you happen to have somebody up in that window there and you happen to be in this building here, you can actually just edge your way up like that, and there you go. Great little line of sight into that window. Now, getting into the upper floor of this area here, you can't unfortunately see that window there unless you jump to a little ledge that happens to be right over here. You just jump up like that, there you go. Of course, you're really exposed here, but they often don't expect you to be here because normally you can't really get a line of sight on them from here. So you can jump up there, get a line of sight there, get a line of sight over there. You could even strafe your way over and see into those buildings there, although you are relatively exposed when you do that. Now, getting over to this rooftop here, a lot of people know about the fact that you can just climb up this ladder. That's pretty obvious. I mean, it's a ladder, so of course you know that. But what some people didn't know is you can actually jump up on the sandbags here and then mantle up this way, just as an alternative for you. Now, if you're pushing the spawns towards the A domination area and the enemies are still back there, they're still spawning back there, maybe camping back there, one option is to jump up right here. You can actually jump up and get a great check spot over this area here, and they often don't expect that. They usually expect you to come right around the corner, and you can kind of do a similar thing right here. You can just walk up these sandbags, and that gives you a bit of a line of sight into this area here. It's just much better than walking right around this corner like that. Now, getting over to this side of the map over here, a lot of times you'll have people up in the second story of that building just locking everything down. As you come around this corner, they'll pick you off from one of those windows there. And if you can make it up into this area, oftentimes you come through here and you're instantly dead because they have that advantage clearly in that gunfight. If they happen to be in that window there, you can actually get a cheeky little line of sight on them through this crack right here. They won't expect this. If they've got you locked down, like just say you come in here, they shoot at you, maybe they hit you a couple times, you know they're up there. You can easily just challenge them through this little crack. They'll have no clue what hit them. Now, getting over to this wagon over here that's broken, you can walk up here and use it for cover. That's fairly obvious. I think most people knew about this, but just a little alternative. If they happen to be right in there, they expect you to be up here. What they don't expect is for you to be prone right here. So you can easily just pick off their legs through there. And once again, they'll just have no clue what hit them. Obviously, you don't have the same lines of sight as standing up over here. You can't see back in that area, but it is just an alternative that you should know about. Now, getting all the way back into the C domination spawns over here, there's just an excellent little line of sight that a lot of people didn't realize existed right into that doorway there. Sometimes you get enemies camping in that spot trying to lock down the B flag, or they'll just come over to that spot, and you can pretty easily pick them off through there. So I'll just show you guys exactly where that is. It's that doorway right next to the B flag. Next up is an excellent way to break out of the spawn trap when you have enemies up in those windows there. It can be really brutal when they get up there. It's really hard to break out of these spawns, but if they are up there and you can manage to make it up to this truck or behind this truck here, they can't shoot your feet just because of the angle, so you'll be protected from that. You can, by the way, see a little bit into that doorway there, but that's not really the spot I wanted to show you guys. The real spot I wanted to show you is if you can make it up to this truck and you know they're in those windows, instead of looking over the hood like this, which isn't terrible, by the way, that's an okay way to challenge them. the best way I found is actually through this little crack right here. You can shoot through the windows of this truck. You are practically invisible to them right here, and it's much, much better to pick those guys off. You have a clear advantage in this situation. Now, so far, I've showed you guys some decent lines of sight to use. Now it's time to basically break the map. Things are going to get crazy here. This is excellent for countering any sort of campers that are in second-story buildings. And this is hopefully going to change the way you approach this map and also approach campers on this map. First wall bang I have for you guys is simply right through there. This is going to kill the people that are camping on top of the stairs like this. You'll often see people do this if they're locking down this building, because for the people that come into this building, usually you're kind of like checking up as you go, and by the time you get fully turned around, they're going to kill you. Not many people are going to come up the stairs backwards like that, and even if they do, you still have the height advantage from there. It's really easy to just spray through this. A lot of the buildings in this map are basically paper, and with a bunch of these spots, you won't even need FMJ if you're using an LMG or a rifle. So great spot right there to pick those guys off. And then the next thing I'm going to show you guys applies to pretty much every second story window in this map. Once again, just like St. Marie du Mont, you can spray through the floors in this map and get kills on the people that are camping up in the windows. So let's just say somebody's camping right up in this window. He's just crouched like this and he's looking towards that spawn. If you happen to get down below him here, it's super easy. Just spray through the floor. You'll pick him off every single time. He'll have no clue what hit him. So that applies to that window there. It applies to the window up here, no problem. It applies to the windows in there if you happen to get into that building underneath those guys. Even in this building right here, you can use that to your advantage. You can spray through this area here to get a line of sight on the guy through there. I guess not a line of sight, but a wallbang spot on that guy there. Same thing goes with all of these windows in this building. Just know, if you happen to see a guy popping up on the minimap and he's in one of those second story windows and you're in the bottom floor, there is often a way you can pick them off without actually going upstairs. Another wallbang spot I have for you guys is if you have a guy that's up on that turret in that building there and you happen to be coming from this side of the map, he'll be lighting up on the minimap really, really bright because he'll be shooting that gun, or you'll know he's shooting that gun. If you come to about this area here, you can actually just spray through right in that area and you'll often get the kill on that guy. And with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode of Maps Exposed on Carentan. I'd like to know in the comment section below, first off, what do you think of this map, especially now that you know these lines of sight? I know for a lot of people, they really dislike the way this map plays. It definitely takes some adjusting because it's basically a window camper's paradise. And that's how you excel on this map, is basically just locking down second story buildings and sitting in windows. But I'd like to know what you guys think of this map in the comment section below, and also let me know in the comment section below which one of the maps you'd like me to cover next for this series, keeping in mind I've already covered, I believe, more than half of the maps now, so if you guys have missed any episodes, I will leave a link to the playlist down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.